Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game SO Taking series on the Mr. FPGA product. Today, more specifically, even more updates from Taki, Udon, and Retro Remake on the SuperStation One, because we got a lot more information on the overall design, and one of the most requested features has been added to the SuperStation One and dock, and I think that's going to make a lot of people very happy. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But I've been following with the SuperStation One updates for you guys, basically all the way from the announcement to the point in time that I got the Mr. Pi 4 review all the way up until today. And it's definitely getting a lot more exciting. We've got a ton of details on the CD-ROM drive and the fact that it's now reading discs from basically every disc-based console on Mr. Taki Udon also recently updated his Twitter with some photos of a prototype PCB as well, and that's always awesome to see, just basically how the sausage gets made, for lack of a better term. I love that Retro Remake basically takes us along for the ride in the entire development process, showing us case design, renders, PCBs, basically showing how every single step of the way they are working on this product. Now, as far as when it's shipping, Q3 is apparently still the date as of the recording of this video. Maybe it'll slip into Q4, really not sure whatsoever, but it still seems to be all on time. But there was one thing that basically everyone requested as far as the feature is concerned, and that was snack adapter support outside of PlayStation 1, because the SuperStation 1 is designed basically like a PS1, so you're going to get the PS1 controller ports as well as the memory card ports. But now there's going to be a toggle on the dock with a USB port that is snack or cereal, and just don't get confused. They use the USB port as an actual form factor, but it is not wired up for USB, it's wired up for snack support, so it definitely is the same but different. And now what you're going to be able to do is flip this toggle and plug in that snack adapter and use whatever snack adapters you may want on SuperStation 1. So it's no longer just going to be limited to the PlayStation 1 controllers in the front. You're going to have that full snack adapter on the side. And that is going to be awesome, because I know a lot of people love snack, being able to use their original controllers over that serial protocol and to be able to play their games. And honestly, there are a ton of different adapters out there, but I will get into what Taki Udon has stated is going to be compatible with SuperStation 1, at least at the start, because apparently it's not going to be everything, or maybe just everything hasn't been tested yet. And if you're not familiar what snack is, it's basically just an adapter and protocol to use original console controllers on Mr. FPGA. It doesn't control the on-screen display, it's basically just interacting with the core, but we have a metric ton of them on the Mr. FPGA side of things. Mr. Add-ons is the one I use for my personal use when I'm making videos, and it's going to be awesome to be able to use these on SuperStation 1, because I think that was probably the number one thing that people, I wouldn't say were upset about, but were a little disappointed about, the fact that at least off the initial design, the only thing you're going to be using original controllers for would have been PlayStation 1. Now you're going to get a whole new world of features, and that toggle on the side is basically going to allow you to switch from the front of the SuperStation 1 over to that snack adapter. We'll have to wait and see how many it'll actually support, but it's going to be a ton of fun. And if you're not familiar with snack, again, it's something that's been on Mr. FPGA from the start, including the Mr. Pi. We've always had that USB can on the top I/O board, and again, serial, not USB protocol, and you've been able to use whatever controllers you want. There are still some controllers that don't have snack adapters on Mr. FPGA, but hopefully some more will be coming soon. But trust me, there's a metric crap ton available now. Another popular question that has been answered is someone asked if it'll integrate Wi-Fi and Bluetooth for controllers, and Taki states the main console has this, yes. So whether you're on the 2.4 GHz wireless or Bluetooth, there's going to be the ability to pair the controller with the system without plugging anything else in. And you'll see here that toggle to pick the active snack is going to be available. So obviously you're not going to be able to use both at the same time, but that would make a ton of sense. You're either going to be able to use one or the other. And the dock also has an expansion port on the back, so maybe Taki Udon will come up with something even different. And as far as the power, something I know a lot of you have asked, one power cable will control both the dock and the SuperStation 1, giving you a nice clean design. And that definitely is awesome. Basically, the SuperStation dock remove that duplicate S-video port, and again, you don't really need to, so this makes perfect sense, and was able to actually get that snack port in. So if you're wondering whether or not you can use other controllers, SuperStation 1, you can. And I really appreciate this overall design aesthetic, taking in user feedback and almost having a design by committee approach. Now obviously Retro Remake is the one making the final decisions on this, but they go through the questions on Twitter, they read comments on videos, and they understand what the end user base really does want to see. So right now it says it's compatible with Super Nintendo snack controllers, and I do have one of those from Taki and it works perfectly fine. It's also going to be compatible with N64. So right now it's going to have 2 different controller adapters available, at least on launch. But again, I'm sure there's going to be a ton of other ones made out there. It's just kind of focusing on the platforms that people might want the most of. And honestly, Snack for N64, absolutely important in my opinion, because even with the best aftermarket controllers, I know a lot of people really like using that original 3-prong design, and if you don't have an NSO USB controller, using Snack is going to be the way to go. So if you already have some Snack cables, we'll have to wait and see if they're compatible with SuperStation One. When it actually launches, I'll definitely be reviewing it, telling you guys exactly what works. But I know everyone wanted Snack, and it is coming, and that again is awesome because it is such a fundamentally important piece of Mr. FPJ, being able to utilize your original controllers. And if you just want those PlayStation 1 style controllers and memory cards, obviously those ports are already built into the SuperStation One, and that will be completely easy to do. There's also been some updates on the case design. We had a video earlier basically showing Taki just kind of rolling it around in his hand, showing you that this is in progress. Cases are existing out there, but there was definitely some issues with the logo that needed to be fixed up. But honestly, I love the visibility of the design process, not only on the technical engineering, but also on the actual case and all of the tooling involved in that, because it isn't just a PCB with silicon in it. It isn't just Mr. FPJ code. It's also a design object that you want to have sitting next to your television, and you want to think blends in nicely and fits. And compared to some other companies out there that really haven't given much evidence of what the design looks like, there's something like Retro Remake that takes you along for the ride step by step and shows you exactly what is coming. And now there are new photographs of sample cases. Everything seems to be basically ready to go, and that again is fun to know, because if this thing is getting ready to ship maybe in the next 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I'm really not sure, seeing this go along for the ride definitely instills confidence that all the progress is being made, because it's one thing to design a PCB and put the silicon on, definitely hard and a certain talent subset. It's a completely different thing to make an object to encase that PCB and make it something that you want to actually hold in your hand and look at. Design object philosophies are a fun kind of area of study, and outside of my MFA, my minor, are kind of just what I like to play around elective wise, was design objects and how you can actually take something and not only make it functional but also beautiful and something that you would want to have in your home. And as far as the design so far, with all of the different logo options, all of the different case colors, this definitely is a very pretty object, and I think you're going to really enjoy having it next to your television, because one thing I keep hearing on the Mr. FPJ side of things is I just want a consoleized version that looks elegant and looks like something I would buy off the shelf, and you're definitely getting that here. And you'll see here there are some options as well for the logo, and I love that Retro Remake basically lets you vote on what it is you might want to see. Not many companies do this, and I definitely think it makes a big difference in the overall ability to feel like you are part of the process, even if all you're doing is waiting for your pre-order. I love the logo, I love the PlayStation 1 colors. It is just fun to see all this get made in real time, because in the next month, 2-3 months, you're going to be seeing this thing sitting next to your television, and then we can really get it on camera and get some of those glamour shots. Because right now we just have close-ups and a couple cell phone videos. And if you're wondering, I don't know when the next restock of Mr. Pi boards are. Right now they're shipping batch for pre-orders. I'm sure more will come up. I will definitely update you guys in a video when that happens, but it's basically a question I get every single video about Mr. Pi or SuperStation One. When are more coming? And definitely I'm not quite sure, but I have a feeling it will be soon. So definitely keep up on that. But the big update, the big news here is that Snack is going to come over to SuperStation One outside of the PlayStation 1 format. And again, that's something that basically everyone asked for. So now there really isn't anything to point at to SuperStation 1 to say it's quote unquote missing. It's going to be reading CDs, it's going to be dumping CDs, it's going to have the ability to use Snack adapters outside of PlayStation 1. Honestly, the only thing it can't do is read cartridges, and you never know, there could be some sort of plugin in the future. Don't quote me on that though, I know absolutely nothing. I just know Retro Remake loves to kind of just throw new ideas at products, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like that in the future. but this is definitely shaping up to be a very exciting fall. We're going to have a new Mr. FPJ console out there that's basically going to be the Swiss Army knife of what it can do, and that definitely is something fun. But leave me a comment down below and you tell me if there was one more feature you could add to something like the SuperStation One that it doesn't have yet, which one would it be? I'm guessing most people are going to say cart reading, but otherwise kind of think outside the box and come up with something inventive that even I haven't thought of. But we are done. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.